I'm Dr. Frita, and today I'm going to share with you how to control your high blood pressure with an easy 10-day plan. Hypertension or high blood pressure is a leading cause of heart disease, strokes, and kidney disease in the United States. About half of the adults in the U.S. have high blood pressure, yet most do not have it under control. I am a board-certified nephrologist, which means I'm an MD who specializes in kidney disease and hypertension. So taking care of high blood pressure is what I do every day. Are you interested in learning how to control your high blood pressure? Then let's get started. Please grab a pen and paper. Keep watching. I am offering a concierge telehealth consultation service. So no matter where you are located in the world, you can talk to me, we can have medical conversations, and I can give you personalized information. Just make sure you click the link, you go to my profile, and you can set up your appointment today. I will talk to you and just really take my time and give you world-class health advice. Not just generalized advice, but advice that is personal to you. I'm Dr. Frita. I'm a board-certified kidney and high blood pressure specialist, and so day in and day out, I take care of patients with hypertension. And I understand that controlling high blood pressure can be frustrating. Sometimes you can really just try your best, and those numbers keep fluctuating. They go up, they go down, and you get tired of it. If you're listening to me and you're someone who's really struggled with your high blood pressure, you may have come to the conclusion that, hey, having high blood pressure runs in my family, it's just normal for me. Well, guess what? It's not. Even if you don't have symptoms from your hypertension, the high blood pressure is still doing damage to your blood vessels. It's damaging the vessels in your brain, the vessels in your heart, and definitely the vessels in your kidneys. So please, don't give up on controlling your high blood pressure. I'm going to give you a plan. All right, let's get started. On day one, you want to learn how to monitor and record your blood pressure properly. That's key. If you don't know what your blood pressure actually is, how are you going to control it? And so the first thing you want to do is make sure that the blood pressure cuff is the proper size, okay? And the American Heart Association has an 80-40 rule, which is actually pretty good. If you think about the bladder of the blood pressure cuff, okay, the part that wraps around your arm, you want to make sure that the width of the blood pressure cuff bladder is approximately 40% of the size of the circumference of your arm, okay? So if you were to get a tape measure and just kind of take it around your arm, kind of in the mid-upper arm, or you can get a string and take that around, and you go to about 40% of it, right? So less than half. You want the width of the blood pressure cuff to be about that size. And as far as the length of the blood pressure cuff, you want to make sure that the length is about 80% of the length of the circumference of your arm. All right. If your blood pressure cuff is too small, that will give you a falsely elevated blood pressure. So if you're one of these people who has big arms and you are constantly getting very high blood pressures, make sure that the blood pressure cuff is large enough. You may need an adult large, or you may even need a thigh cuff if you have really big and buff arms. And if you are a very thin person and you're getting low blood pressures, it may be a false low number if the blood pressure cuff is too big, okay? So consult with your physicians or even go to your local fire department and make sure that your blood pressure cuff is the right size. When you measure the blood pressure, you want to make sure that you are relaxed and that you have an empty bladder. So sit, do some deep breathing, and kind of relax. Uncross your legs and feet, okay? Your feet should be nice and flat on the ground, and your arms should be at the level of your heart. Okay, so now you're ready to properly measure your blood pressure. And you may have a wrist cuff. That's okay. Just make sure that you calibrate it with your local fire department or with your physician's office to make sure you're getting accurate blood pressures. All right, so now you're ready to measure your blood pressure. Oh, so what is a normal blood pressure? Normal blood pressure is when that top number, or the systolic, is less than 120 and that bottom number, or the diastolic, is less than 80. Now, these numbers were updated in 2017. You have hypertension, stage 1, if that systolic number is between 130 and 139, and if that bottom number, the diastolic, is between 80 and 89, and you have stage 2 hypertension if that top number is over 140 and the bottom number is over 90. And let's talk about what blood pressure actually means. Your blood pressure is the force that your blood exerts on your blood vessels. So the systolic, or the top number, is the pressure when the heart is squeezing or contracting. Okay, it's the pressure in your blood vessels then, while that diastolic number is the pressure in those vessels when the heart is relaxed. So if you have a blood pressure of greater than 130 over 80, then you have hypertension and you definitely need to consult with your doctor. And one thing that will help is keeping a daily journal, figuring out what time of day your blood pressure may be higher, because in some people, the blood pressure will fluctuate. So it's very important to write down those blood pressure numbers and your heart rate numbers, because that will help to guide your physician on how to treat your blood pressure. Days 2 to 3, adopt a heart-healthy diet. What you put into your body is key. Food can be medicine. Food can also be kryptonite. And so you want to really take the time over days 2 and 3 to learn which foods are best for your blood pressure. You want to incorporate fruits, vegetables, like those cruciferous vegetables, the broccoli, the kale, the Brussels sprouts. You want to incorporate beets because they have nitrates, which are converted to nitric oxide in your body. And that's a natural way to dilate your blood vessels. You want to incorporate garlic. Garlic has a substance called allicin, which helps to relax the blood vessels and help the blood pressure to decrease. You also want to learn which foods to avoid. You want to avoid high sodium foods. You want to avoid pre-packaged foods. You definitely want to avoid added sugar. You are definitely in luck because I have created a wonderful library of videos that will help you to learn which foods you should have. I have a video on 9 powered vegetables that are good for your blood pressure, on low sodium foods that are good for your blood pressure. I also have videos on what to avoid, like the 15 worst foods to eat if you have high blood pressure. Check out these videos after you finish watching this video. Be sure to consult with your physician and your registered dietitian before making any major changes to your diet. Days 4 to 5, commit to regular physical activity. Yes, you definitely want to exercise because that helps to lower your blood pressure. When you exercise, that helps to release endorphins. That also helps you to maintain a healthy weight. And we know that when you're someone who has a healthier weight, less abdominal fat, you tend to have a better blood pressure. And so there are different ways you can do it. Yes, you can have a gym membership and you can be intense and you can get in there most days of the week. In fact, the American Heart Association recommends that most adults exercise for at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise each week. So that's about 30 minutes of exercise for 5 days of the week. So you can do walking, you can do running. You can also incorporate it in your daily activities. Take the stairs instead of taking the elevator. On your lunch break, take a little, have a nice light lunch and then get up and walk around in the parking lot, or get a lunch buddy and just kind of walk around the building, keep your body moving. You can also do yoga, and yoga is good as well as meditation because that usually incorporates slow, deep breathing. And when you have slow, deep breathing, that helps the heart to slow down and helps the blood vessels to dilate. And meditating is a way to clear your mind, decrease stress, and decrease blood pressure. HIIT training is something that's wonderful also. When you get in there, you do this high intensity training with exercise where you're doing some weightlifting, some calisthenics, and kind of balancing things out. Many things will help you as far as exercise. Make sure you consult with your physician. And if you have a gym membership or access to a personal trainer, find out which exercises are healthy for you that can help you to reduce your blood pressure. Beyond just directly benefiting your blood pressure, exercise can help with your mental health. So be sure to check out my video on how exercise can help with mental health after you finish watching this video. Be sure to download your copy of my book. It's called Under Pressure. It's your step-by-step guide on how to control high blood pressure. This book is packed with valuable tools, guidelines, and information to help you to control high blood pressure. Click the link in the description to get your copy today. Day 6, incorporate stress-reducing techniques in your daily life. Yes, stress is big. Everyone has it. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. And when you have stress, that increases those stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones cause your blood vessels to tighten or constrict. And guess what? it sends your blood pressure up. So if you're someone who is stressed several times throughout the day in traffic or fussing at your kids or dealing with people at work, if these folks stress you out, then you are potentially raising your blood pressure several times during the day. And so you definitely want to figure out how to incorporate stress reducing techniques. Here are a few. Meditation. You want to sit and meditate and clear your mind. Now, meditation does not just mean you sit in a corner and you're quiet while you think about what you had for breakfast or you go through your things to do list. No, you have to have a free mind, a calm mind. So you want to learn some meditation techniques, and that can help to reduce your stress. Also, you want to control what you can control. If you're a big worrier, you worry about what's going on in this other country over there. You worry about what's happening with your buddy who had a bad day yesterday morning. You see someone who crossed the street, they look like their leg hurts. You worry about them. If you're worrying about everything all the time, that's going to increase your stress. And so I want you to be compassionate. I do. But I also want you to control what you can control. And I don't want you to be a worrier where your stress is causing high blood pressure. So figure out how to control what you can control and decrease stress that way. Also, you want to make sure that you have a plan. If you write things down in a journal or you come up with a daily plan and you really say, okay, I have this long things to do list, but I'm going to put the top 3 most important things on the top of the list. You really worry about getting those things done. And for the things you don't get done, hey, tomorrow's coming, and try not to, be so hard on yourself. And also friends. Yeah, especially work friends. Make sure you remove toxic people from your daily life. I don't mean get rid of them like, okay, they're going to leave the face of the earth. They might still be there, but you want to make sure you're very cognizant of how much you interact with them or how much you let the words that they say control you. If someone is not for you, okay, even if they seem like they're for you, if they're not for you, they can be strategizing to pull you down at work. I'm not trying to make you paranoid, but I want you to really pay attention and weigh your relationships, even family relationships. If you have toxic people in your life and you really feel like they're bringing you down, kind of do some assessments and get rid of these people. And make sure you see a therapist, seek counseling, okay? Because, hey, you want to make sure the problem's not you. Either way, you want to make sure that your relationships with friends and family are nourishing relationships that are going to decrease your stress and help you to have a better blood pressure. Oh, and also make sure you engage in stress-reducing activities. You know why a lot of little kids don't have stress? Because they play. Well, guess what? When you're an adult, you can play as well. Find out if there are any work sports teams you can join, or if you're a member of a local gym, maybe there's some different sports activities, dodgeball, flag football. Go out and play. Go with friends. Enjoy healthy foods. Enjoy laughing. Enjoy dancing. Figure out those things that you love, have fun, and play. And yes, this stress-reducing technique can also help you to lower your blood pressure. Be sure you watch my video on 7 ways to reduce stress in the workplace after you finish watching this video. Days 7 to 8, monitor your sodium intake. Oh my goodness. Having a high salt diet is a no-no if you want to control your high blood pressure. Now, you may be listening to me and thinking, oh, I'm good. I don't pick up the salt shaker. I do sea salt or pink Himalayan salt. Well, guess what? They still have sodium. So I want you to become a label watcher. According to the American Heart Association, most adults should be eating less than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day. Yes, go look at the labels. You can get up to that very, very quickly. And so in order to avoid having high sodium, you want to avoid prepackaged foods. Definitely you want to avoid fried foods, avoid canned foods as much as you can. But even some of the everyday things that we eat, like ketchup, it has salt in it. Or if you think you're being healthy by eating vegetables, like, I don't know, you have a bowl of canned corn, take a look. It's loaded with salt as well. The key is to figure out ways to flavor your food without adding a lot of salt. Use lemon zest, use garlic, use peppers. And in order to control your blood pressure, make sure you minimize the amount of sodium you take in. Day 9, oh, I'm about to lose all my friends here, but hear me out. Day 9, limit alcohol and caffeine intake. Now, we know that alcohol is everywhere. It's just a part of our society. If you go to a wedding, they're drinking alcohol. If you go to a birthday party, alcohol. If you're watching a program on television, they say, hey, what are you drinking? Hey, we see alcohol everywhere. And perhaps you can have alcohol in moderation, but when you have excess alcohol, it can increase your blood pressure, okay? It can worsen your high blood pressure. The CDC recommends that the average woman have no more than 1 drink a day, the average man no more than 2 drinks a day. So what is a drink? I'm not talking about a 16-ounce glass full of dark liquor. No, that is not a drink. I don't care if it's 1 glass. A drink is considered 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or 1.5 ounces of an 80 proof liquor, something like a whiskey or vodka or something that's strong. That is what's considered to be 1 drink. Consult with your physician, because you may be someone who can have no alcohol. And certainly alcohol can increase your risk for high blood pressure. Caffeine, which is actually a drug, is the most commonly used drug worldwide. Now, studies show us that if you're having less than 400 milligrams of caffeine a day, then you probably are not having detrimental effects. But truth be told, if you have hypertension and you drink a lot of caffeine, it actually can, in some cases, increase your blood pressure. Consult with your physician. And if you find that you're someone who does need to cut alcohol all the way out or caffeine all the way out, this is not the end of the world. There are strategies. Now, if you're someone who actually has an issue with having excess alcohol, make sure you consult with your physician, consult with your mental health care provider. And if you simply must have that kind of alcohol feeling, there are mocktails you can try, and there are different restaurants that are actually non-alcoholic restaurants. I know they're starting that trend. And as far as caffeine, of course, you can have decaffeinated drinks like decaffeinated tea, decaffeinated sodas, decaffeinated coffee. Mind you that even in a lot of these decaffeinated beverages, there is some caffeine, but certainly it will be less milligrams than for fully caffeinated beverages. Please consult with your physician about your alcohol and your caffeine intake. Lucky for you, I go into detail about some of these substances in the videos in my library. Please check out my video on Is Caffeine Bad for You? And also watch my video on the dark side of alcohol, what alcohol does to your body, after you finish watching this video. See, we're still friends. Question: how many of you have already started to implement some of these plans? Please comment down below and let me know how these plans have worked for you, some of the trials and the tribulations and some of the successes. Let me know what you've already tried. Day 10, create a long-term blood pressure lowering goal, okay? This is a marathon. It is not a quick sprint. You're going to have up days and down days. You're going to have weeks where you did really, really great, and you're going to have weeks where you could have done better and the blood pressure is not the best. The key is not to beat yourself up. Celebrate the good days. Celebrate days when you have really a healthy diet. You do your exercise, you do your meditation techniques. When you wake up in the morning, celebrate yourself. Go over all of the good things that you've done towards your lowering your blood pressure journey. And hey, just go over the good things about you. That helps to decrease stress. Don't dwell on the negative, okay? So that's really key. Also, make sure, again, that you consult with your physician. We have all of these different lifestyle management techniques for blood pressure, but in some cases, you may need medications. You want to talk to your physician about the risks versus the benefits of medication, and you want to make sure that you and your physician are on the same page. If while doing these lifestyle management changes, your blood pressure actually starts to lower, well, you want to make sure that you keep your physician up to speed and so that they can pull away medications as needed, okay? It's integrative, not one or the other. We do the lifestyle adjustments, but you may be in a situation where you need medication as well, and that's okay. You also want to set realistic goals. If you've had blood pressures that have been, 180s over 110, and your body has adjusted to that high blood pressure, you're not going to drop your blood pressure right away. Not even necessarily in 10 days. It may not be perfect, but we want to start seeing incremental lowerings of the blood pressure. And again, you work with your physician to find out which blood pressure goals are realistic for you. So there you have it. I want you to have a positive attitude, jump on in, collaborate with your physician, your healthcare provider, and I want you to implement this 10-day plan to lower your blood pressure. Please tell me, which part of this plan resonated with you? Please share down in the comments. If you found this video to be helpful and informative, be sure to like it and to share it with the people you care about. I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate your support. And as always, I want you to do your best to live your healthiest and happiest life. And here is one more way that will help you to live your healthiest and happiest life. I have a lot of people who ask me, hey, are you taking new patients? Or they have really detailed questions they want me to answer, or they want to talk to me or just get my medical advice. Well, guess what? I am offering a concierge telehealth medical service. You can click the link in my description and you can book an appointment where I will give you a one-on-one consultation in detail, where you will have my undivided attention and I will give you my personal advice on your medical problem. So yes, please take advantage of this. I would love to meet you and I would love to help you. So again, I thank you. I will talk to you next time. I'm Dr. Frita.